Listen to all your live mixes, live radio programs, and live entertaining and news package programs right here from GTR, Ghana Talks Radio. GTR News. GTR News. We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news right here on GTR.
This is the afternoon news on Ghana Talks Radio. My name is Sandra Asante and I welcome you to top stories. Public hearing on LGBTQ plus bill resumes. Also, former President John Dramani Mahama denies coup plot allegations by Abronye DC. Also, a 33-year-old woman jailed 7 years for stealing a child at Bourgeois. There's some more stories coming up after the break.
Get it big, get it here. Listen to all your live mixes, live radio programs, and live entertaining and news package programs right here from GTR, Ghana Talks Radio. This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation. GTR News. The news others choose.
Welcome back from the break to our first story. The Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee will today, Thursday, resume public hearings on the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill 2021. The bill, if passed in its current state, will criminalize lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, the care LGBTQ+, and their related activities in the country. About 150 memoranda from individuals, groups, and faith-based organizations were presented to the committee regarding the bill. The committee began engaging members who presented these memos last year and took a break when Parliament went on to recess in December. Thus, the engagement is expected to resume for input from these various stakeholders to be captured in the report of the committee that will be represented in the plenary. In August 2021, 8 parliamentarians jointly submitted this private bill to ban the promotion, advocacy, funding, and acts of homosexuality in the country. However, opposers have argued that should the bill be passed in its current state, it will be in violation of fundamental human rights of individuals who identify with the group. To our next story, the Bono Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, Kwame Bafo, popularly known as Abronye DC, has been granted bail of 100,000 cedis with 2 sureties. Abronye DC was put before an Accra Circuit Court on Wednesday after being charged with publication of false news, offensive conduct conducive to breach of peace. Mr. Bafo claimed that the 2020 flag bearer of the opposition National Democratic Congress NDC, John Dramani Mahama, had planned to stage a coup against the government. According to the media report, the MPP communicator made the claim on Hot 93.9 FM in Accra while responding to the arrest of #Fix the Country convener Oliver Mausi Becker, former war, who also threatened to stage a coup should the electronic transaction levy be passed after the majority leader Oseche Mensah Bonsu celebrated his 65th birthday with the e-levy design cake. The police statement revealed that the MPP regional chairman failed to substantiate his claim. Abronye DC has spoken for the first time after his arrest and bail on Wednesday. He said no amount of populist incarceration will injunct him from voicing out or speaking his mind. This is what he has to say.
Actually, I've been advised by my counsel not to respond to this populist arrest that was effected by the IGP. I think the next court date is on the 9th. But what I would like to say is that no amount of this populist incarceration would enjoin me from voicing out or speaking my mind. In the coming days, from tomorrow going, I'll come out with some personal issues that I have with the IGP, which has nothing to do with this particular case.
Still on the coup allegation, the former president John Dramani Mahama has dispelled claims that he is orchestrating a plan to unconstitutionally overthrow the government. Mr. Mahama, in a February 16th statement, dismissed any such assertions of any coup, describing it as a false claims. The Bono Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, Kwame Bafo Abronye DC, was granted bail after he was charged with publication of false news. According to the statement signed by Mr. President Mahama, former president, the special aide Joyce Bawa Montari, the accusations were concocted story targeted at courting disaffection for him. In a statement, he said that this is not the first time Abronye has made such despicable and reprehensible allegations and caused same to be published about President Mahama and many other leading members of the National Democratic Congress. She further explained the former president's democratic credentials make it impossible for him to even consider such a route. Therefore, any attempt to align or associate him with anti-democratic activities, act of destabilization and abuse of human and other rights cannot be true, she added. Still on local stories, a 33-year-old unemployed woman, Priscilla Owusu, has been sentenced to 7 years imprisonment in hard labor by the Asamankese Circuit Court for stealing a 3-month-old child in Pujua. Priscilla Owusu, also known as Hagar, was charged for child stealing contrary to Section 23(1) and 93 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, that is the Act 29, and was sentenced to 2 years for this. Also, she was also charged for child stealing contrary to Section 93 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, that is the Act 29, and was sentenced to 7 years or to run concurrently. Her accomplice Stephen appeared not to above charges, so he was remanded for further investigation. The Ghana Police Service has apologized to the chief and people of Lamashegu and Dagbon as a whole over the misconduct of some police officers, which led to the death of one person. The police rendered an apology when the delegation sent by the Inspector General of Police, led by Deputy IGP COP Tete Yohunu, visited the Lamashegu Chief's Palace on Wednesday, 16 February 2022. Addressing the chief and people, Mr. Tete Yohunu commended the
GTR News.
The life of police officers at the center of disturbances in the town, noting that the legal proceedings against the officer and the team involved in the incident has begun. The IGP also assured of regaining the public trust in the police service.
Let go of our past and let us be. We understand. We've lost your trust. We've lost your confidence, your respect. We are going to earn them back. So please, don't continue to judge us by our past.
GTR News.
And by some extension, even insult us. Because, to put it in Chi, Mumpio, Ghana Police, we have done self-introspection. We know where the problems are. That's why we are convinced that we can become the best institution in the country. So bear with us and encourage us, because you have a child, and every day you don't speak good about the child will not turn out to be good.
GTR News.
So in respect of how painful our past historical issues have been, if we want to be biblical, we said we have been born again.
This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation.
To our next local story, Ghana, Rwanda, and Senegal are partnering with German biotechnology company Biotech SE to fill finished and packaged biotech mRNA vaccines in Africa as a first step in the chain of domestic vaccine production, which will to improve vaccine supply in Africa. This was announced at a high-level meeting in Marburg, Germany on Wednesday, 16 February, where President Akufo-Addo, together with President Macky Sall and Paul Kagame of the Republics of Senegal and Rwanda, respectively, witnessed the presentation of the BioNTech Modular Protection Facility solution for the production of mRNA vaccines in Africa. The event was also attended by dignitaries, together with the biotech CEO and co-founders, Professor Uga Sahin, and CMO Professor Oslem Turesi, and COO Dr. Siek Portin. They jointly discussed the infrastructure, regulatory, and technological requirements to establish an end-to-end manufacturing network for mRNA
Ghana Talks Radio.
vaccines. Ghana will support the manufacturing with the field and finished capacities in cooperation with WHO, Africa DCE, AMA, and European Union's. Biotech is supporting, identifying, and setting up the necessary regulatory framework. The majority in Parliament is accusing the minority of bad faith with its motion for a vote of censure on the Minister of Health, Kweku Agyeman-Menu. The House, after months of delay, finally adopted the report of the ad hoc committee set up to probe the botched Sputnik-V deal. But the minority earlier on Wednesday, February 16, 2022, filed a motion backed by 137 signatories to push for the removal of the Minister of Health over his dishonest role in the Sputnik-V vaccine procurement scandal. Addressing the press in Parliament, however, Deputy Majority Leader Alexander Afenyomarkin said the action by the minority is surprising, especially when the country has moved on after the findings by the parliamentary committee that proved the deal was unanimously agreed by on by two sides. This is what the minority filed the motion about.
Procurement of Sputnik-V. Parliament constituted a bipartisan committee.
Ghana Talks Radio,
we finished our work.
#1.
We brought the report to the plenary, debated, and today the question has been put. It means that the report of the committee has been adopted by the House. All this while, we have been of the strong conviction that the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, would have done the needful. From all indications, it looks as though the President hasn't heard anything and he hasn't seen anything. And therefore, we as members of Parliament, especially on the minority side, by Article 82, will come by a motion. In fact, we filed a motion and we've gotten the required signatories to have to pass a vote of censure, so that probably the minister will be asked to stay away from the ministry because we find him incompetent.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1. GTL News. The news others choose.
And some of which includes the fact that the transaction between the state and Ahmed Al-Maktoum was of international nature, and he ought to have come to Parliament for prior approval. It is clearly captured in the report. Again, the procurement of Sputnik-V, he was also supposed to have the prior approval of the board of the Public Procurement Act. He didn't do so, contrary to sections 40 and 41. He didn't do so. As you also remember, those of you who followed the committee, the ad hoc committee, it was also established that the ex-factory price of the vaccine was less than $10, and the state had to buy it at $19 per dose. That was dishonesty. Again, he appeared before the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health before entering into such an agreement. At the said meeting, he made it clear to the committee that the budget for the Sputnik-V was $10 per dose. And so, again, under oath, he told the committee that no payment whatsoever was made. After the investigation, it was found out that about $2.850 million, which is presently around 8 to 9 million Ghana cedis, has been paid to Ahmed Al-Maktoum. Clearly, he lied under oath. Lied under oath, which for me is perjury. And therefore, the reason why we have filed a motion to pass vote of censure, so that the minister
GTL News.
will have nothing to do.
The news others choose.
You are still tuning in and watching live on Facebook, the afternoon news on Ghana Talks Radio, away from local stories and business stories. And the private commercial transport operators has announced an increase in transport fares by 30%. A statement issued by the driver union on Thursday, 17th of February, says the decision takes immediate effect. This follows a drastic measure increase in fuel price, almost reaching the 8 cities threshold. Some personnel of the Nation Builders Corps NABCO are hitting the street of Accra for the non-payment of their stipends by the government. The demonstration is taking place today, Thursday, 17th of February. They are on 4-month salary arrears, but according to them, the government has failed to pay them, hence the protest. NABCO was launched by President Akufo-Addo on Tuesday, 1st May 2018. The president, while launching the program, was confident that by the time NABCO trainees exit the scheme, the requisite work readiness, skill, and experience, often deemed a barrier to their employment as fresh graduates, would have been resolved. According to President Akufo-Addo, NABCO will be a vehicle to deliver 100,000 jobs in 7 prioritized areas defined as the following models: education, health, also heal and feed Ghana, revenue Ghana, digitalize Ghana, enterprise Ghana, and civic Ghana. Explaining the rationale for the establishment of the corps, President Akufo-Addo noted that the grim story of youth unemployment has been a tragic part of the lives of Ghanaians for so far too long in Ghana. On the international front, France has just announced it is withdrawing its troops from Mali, where they have been fighting jihadists. A joint statement issued by the head of EU-Africa Summit in Brussels says this will be a coordinated withdrawal together with European allies and Canada. The statement also speaks of the desire to continue to engage in the fight against terrorism in Sahel. The ally says they want to extend the geographical scope of their support, including to the countries of Gulf of Guinea. We move to Canada, and police in Canada's capital are telling protesters to leave the area now as the demonstration against COVID restrictions continues. Hundreds remains in Ottawa in defiance of the newly deployed Emergency Act. The warning came as the last remaining border blockade at Emerson, Manitoba, came to an end on Wednesday. Authorities already cleared border blockades in Court Alberta, in Surrey, British Columbia, and the Vital Ambassador Bridge in Windsor, Ontario. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has taken the unprecedented step of invoking emergency powers to crack down on the demonstrations. On Wednesday morning, Ottawa police issued leaflet warning to those still in the city centre after nearly 3 weeks of demonstration that anyone blocking the street or assisting those doing so would face arrest. At least 13 people have died after falling into a well during a wedding ceremony in the northern Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. Police said the victims, all women and children, were sitting on a metal slab covering the well when it collapsed under their weight. 2 more people had been injured in the accident, which took place in Kushinagar district. Prime Minister Narendra Modi called a death heart-wrenching. The tragedy took place on Wednesday evening during the traditional haldi ceremony, in which relatives applied turmeric paste to the faces of the bride and groom as a marker of prosperity. When the slab broke, other guests ran to rescue the victims and took them to the nearby hospital. While 11 people were declared dead immediately, 2 others died later during treatment, the police said. To some entertainment stories, Love Thy Neighbor star Jack Stethords has died peacefully at home, age 89, his family has confirmed. Stethords played the bigoted factory worker Eddie both in the 1970s ITV sitcom. Confirming the news of his death on Twitter, his son Adam posted a series of photographs from the actor's life and career. Today we say farewell to our dear dad, he wrote. He was much loved and brought joy to many. Our entire family gives thanks to a long and fruitful life, he added. We hope he so finds internal peace. But this is where I draw the curtains on the afternoon news on Ghana Talks Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching.